Welcome back to From the Desk of Kathleen. I'm Kathleen Lucente, and it's a pleasure to be with you. Today we're going to jump right into talking about M&A and how do you actually think through all of the communication challenges you need to be planning for well in advance. An M&A can be an incredibly exciting time. For one company, it could be the successful exit they've been dreaming of. For another company, it could be acquiring the skills and services that will help them leap beyond their competition. But if you don't have the right communication strategy leading up to that M&A, things can go sideways real fast. One of the things that happens with companies as they're thinking about going into a merger and acquisition is that the executive team gets very caught up in the financials and the back and forth, and they often don't bring in their head of communications and their public relations firms until the very last minute. And that's a big mistake. Things that they need to be considering are all the communication that have to happen internally and externally. What is the narrative around this M&A that you're going to be using in the public as well as private to make sure there's consistency? For employees, there's a lot of anxiety that comes around with M&A. So are you laying anyone off? Who is going to be handling HR issues and benefits, which all have to be announced? All of those sticky questions are going to come up in the very beginning, and putting a strategy together around making sure your employees feel good about this M&A is extremely important. And if you think that the other company has a number of employees you're hoping to keep, you care about how this M&A is going to be discussed with them before you actually do the merger, showing that you're excited about them coming on board and that the M&A is going to be a positive one for everyone. Externally, the amount of communication is well beyond media and investors. You need to be thinking about your customers and the customers of the company you're acquiring. What are the ways that the websites are going to merge? How are you communicating to them on the day of the merger? What letter is going out? What phone calls are taking place? Too often, companies are not creating a ramp for the amount of work that has to happen. One of the things that we love to do is get involved early on and have that trusted relationship so we can be working alongside your head of communications and your head of investor relations at the very beginning and well in advance, so that stuff is done and ready to go. We love the fact that we get to work with every aspect of a company. We're often talking to the head of HR, we're talking to investor relations, we're talking to the CEO and the CFO and the head of communications and marketing, and it's super important to actually already have a strong relationship with a communications firm that you trust, because you're going to need their help thinking through all of the audiences, because you're going to be getting pulled in multiple directions internally with your C-suite as you move through the merger process. Thank you so much for joining me today From the Desk of Kathleen in exploring the topic of M&A and all of the work that needs to go into it. We're big fans of the communication teams within companies, and we'd love to make sure that they feel really well informed. If there are any other additional questions that you have, please send them my way. We look forward to seeing you next time.